Are you struggling to keep your finances organised or dreading tax season? Keep watching, because by the end you'll know how to use AI tools to automate your bookkeeping, avoid common mistakes and save hours every single week without needing an accountant. Now, before we get started, can I ask one small favour? If you like what I do here, can you please hit the subscribe button? That keeps me energised to bring you more content. Thank you very much. Let's get started. Let's begin with tip number 1, which is to automate your expense tracking with AI tools. Now, you want to go from overwhelmed and scattered with receipts to confident, organised and in control of your financial systems. Now, if you're still manually entering your expenses into a spreadsheet, then you're not just wasting time, you're actually also increasing the risk of making mistakes that could cost you at tax time. Now, I recommend using QuickBooks Online, Xero or Wave Accounting. Now, Wave is free and super beginner friendly, and these platforms use built-in AI that learns your spending behaviour and starts categorising your expenses automatically after just a few uses. Now, one of my students, Sarah, was terrified of switching to software because she wasn't a numbers person. But 30 days in, she told me that she'd never go back. Her weekly bookkeeping time went from 4 hours to just 35 minutes. Now, the first thing you should do is actually connect your bank accounts and business cards directly into your AI-powered bookkeeping tool. This is the foundation of automation, and it gives the AI a live data feed. Now, apps like QuickBooks and Zoho Books securely pull in your transactions and categorize them based on learned patterns. Now, you don't have to do any coding or complex setup, you just log in, connect and let the system run for you. Now, James, one of my coaching clients, called this life-changing because he no longer had to guess where his money went. He could just open his dashboard and see everything instantly. Now, a lot of entrepreneurs still believe that manual means control, but that's one of the biggest lies holding you back. Now, the truth is AI gives you more control, not less, because you're seeing real-time accurate data and not chasing paper trails. So when Lena, an Etsy shop owner, switched from Excel to FreshBooks, she realised she was spending over $300 a month on tools that she no longer used. That insight paid for the tool and some extras. Now, to take things to the next level, you want to use Dext, D-E-X-T, which is formerly Receipt Bank, or Expensify for receipt management. And all you do is you just snap a photo of any receipt and it gets auto matched to your bank feed. This is especially helpful if you're running ads, buying supplies, or even meeting clients. I suggest that you keep a small habit of snapping receipts right after each purchase. It takes around 5 seconds and eliminates that sinking feeling at tax time. Now, Louis, a business owner I mentor, used to throw receipts in a shoebox. Now everything is digital, searchable and sorted really well. His stress levels, they are basically gone. Now, if your business has recurring payments like Canva, Zoom or your domain renewal, I actually recommend setting up bank rules inside QuickBooks or Xero. These rules tell the AI, anytime you see this vendor, categorize it this way. It's a tiny step that saves you massive time in the long run. Now, one of my students, Priya, used to miss hundreds in deductions every single year. And once she set up rules, her CPA told her she finally had professional books. Now, a smart thing for you to do is to actually schedule a weekly financial check-in, even for just 15 minutes on the Friday as an example. So you can review what your AI categorized, correct anything odd, and then just train the system. Now, the more feedback that you give it early on, the smarter it will actually get. So think of it like training a dog. Consistency actually wins. After 3 weeks, your books will practically manage themselves. Now, don't forget to keep your personal and your business transactions 100% separate. It's not just for the taxes, it also makes your AI system way more accurate. So you can use a dedicated business bank account like Novo or Relay, and you'll instantly reduce confusion, prevent double entries and gain better financial insight. Now, one of my clients, Andre, cleaned this up in just one weekend, and he told me it was the most empowering thing that he had done in several months. Now, I have put together some free training resources to help you build an online income source using AI. Go and click the link below in the description to learn more. Now, back to the video. Let's now move on to tip number 2, which is to use AI to predict cash flow and plan ahead. Now, you want the transformation to move from constant cash anxiety to total clarity around what's coming in and going out, with enough foresight to make confident business decisions. Now, if you often feel unsure about whether you can afford the next software subscription or freelance hire, it's not a bad problem, it's a cash flow visibility problem. Now, I recommend using AI-driven tools like Float, Fathom or Pulse. These tools will sync with your accounting software and give you easy to read forecasts of your upcoming income and expenses. Now, Emily, one of my students, started using Float, and she realised she had a 2-month window to take on fewer clients and build her digital product. That one shift helped her scale without any burnout. Now, most business owners think that forecasting is only for the big companies, but that's dead wrong. The earlier you start doing this, even if you're only making $1,000 to $2,000 a month, the better decisions you'll actually make. AI pulls in your past revenue and your bills, and it shows you patterns like seasonal dips or even spikes. I suggest checking your 12-week cash flow forecast at least once a week. It's like having a GPS for your money. Now, if your income is unpredictable like many creators or freelancers, I recommend syncing your Stripe, your PayPal and bank accounts to your cash flow tool. This gives you some real-time projections based on actual payments and not just invoices. Now, Marcus, a web designer that I worked with, thought he was doing fine until his dashboard showed he had a $1,700 dip coming the next month. He was able to land a quick client project and avoid any panic. Now, you want to make sure that you test different what-if scenarios inside your forecasting tool. Now, what if you raised your prices 10%? What if you paused one subscription? These aren't guesses anymore, they're visual data simulations. I recommend running 2 to 3 of these every month. Now, Tasha, one of my coaching clients, used this to test whether hiring a VA made sense. And when she saw that she could actually afford it, it gave her the confidence to take the leap. Now, one easy strategy for better cash flow is to use a tool like Melio to schedule payments for the last possible due date. This keeps your cash in the bank longer. You'd be shocked at how much stress is caused by paying bills too early just to get it over and done with. So let the AI remind you what is urgent and give yourself that nice cushion. Now, I would also suggest creating a cash confidence dashboard, a single view inside Float or Pulse, showing your runway, how many weeks of expenses that you can actually cover. Now, seeing that number change week to week will either motivate you to sell or give you the permission to take a rest. Now, Joe, a content creator, went from panic to selling offers to making strategic launches, just knowing that she had a 6-week buffer. Now, the thing that you'll love about using AI for forecasting is this. It removes the emotional roller coaster. You're no longer guessing or gambling, you're actually planning. You start making decisions from a place of stability, and that creates some real momentum. This is one of the biggest mindset shifts I see in students when they start using these tools correctly. Let's now move on to tip number 3, which is to speed up monthly reports with AI summaries. Now, you want to replace confusion and dread around doing the books with quick, clear insights that you can actually use to make smarter decisions. Now, most business owners avoid monthly reports because they feel overwhelming, but with tools like LiveFlow or Zoho Books, AI breaks those reports down into natural language summaries. So think your income increased 12% from last month, mostly from product A. Now, I suggest using these types of summaries not just for taxes, but to check if your offers are actually profitable. Now, Kendra, one of my students, was shocked to learn how her low ticket product was losing money after ad spend. So that insight saved her thousands in future ad costs. Now, if you don't already have a system in place, you want to start by automating your reports to run on the first of every month. Tools like QuickBooks Advanced and Sift Analytics can do this for you. So you can choose your KPIs like revenue, expenses and refunds, and just let the tool send you a summary with some graphs. That way you will never forget to actually check your numbers. Now, a great habit to build is a monthly money meeting with yourself or even your VA or your business partner. So you want to block out 30 minutes, open your AI dashboard, and then just answer one question: what's working and what's not. Now, one of my clients, Ben, started doing this and found he was spending $200 a month on tools that he hadn't logged into for several months. So he cancelled 4 tools and reinvested the savings into his email marketing. Now, if you want to actually understand what your reports are telling you, You can use a tool like Helm or Bricks. They let you play with data visually, and there is no accounting jargon, just simple charts, summaries, and simple next steps that you can take. Now these are very ideal if you're creative or visual and you actually hate spreadsheets. So you can also use AI insights to compare month over month or quarter over quarter performance. Now I recommend doing this every 3 months or so, and just asking this question: is this trending the way I want? Now Layla, one of my students, noticed that her average order value was dropping, and she used that information to actually bundle her offer. Sales jumped by 18% in the next launch. Now remember, the goal isn't perfection, the goal is pattern recognition. You don't need to be a numbers whiz. You just need to know what your business is trying to tell you. So when you start seeing your numbers like a story, everything actually changes. This is the mindset shift that separates struggling solo business owners from confident CEOs. The thing that you need to realize is that clear reports create better thinking. It gives you the permission to double down on what is working and then simply walk away from what isn't. And that one choice alone can completely transform your business trajectory. Let's now move on to tip number 4, which is to use AI to simplify tax prep and maximize deductions. Now you want to go from stressed and scrambling at tax time to totally confident, organized, and in full control of your deductions without hiring an expensive bookkeeper. Now I recommend using Keeper Tax or Tax Dome if you're a freelancer or a small business owner who dreads tax season. These tools can scan your bank and credit card transactions to surface missed deductions and even explain why something is deductible in plain English. Now Mel, one of my students who runs a coaching business, recovered over $1,200 in missed deductions her first year using Keeper. She said it paid for itself 10 times over and gave her the peace of mind that she never had with spreadsheets. Now, if your accountant is always asking for receipts and you never have them ready, you can solve this with HubDoc or Dext. Just snap a photo or forward the email receipt, and the tool links it to the matching expenses in your books, and it even stores it in the IRS compliant format. Now Dan, a Shopify store owner that I worked with, used to lose hundreds in write-offs each year because of missed receipts. Now once he used HubDoc consistently, his CPA said his books were the cleanest that they'd ever seen from a solo business owner. Now one powerful trick you can use is to create deduction categories that match your business model. Now if you're a content creator, you can track gear, editing software, courses, and even home office costs. I suggest you customize your categories inside QuickBooks or Wave so that the AI learns to auto tag every time. Now Anita, a virtual assistant that I work with, set up her categories once, and by the second month 90% of her expenses were being auto classified with no more guesswork. So don't let people fool you. A lot of online gurus oversimplify the write-offs, and that's very risky. For example, buying a laptop isn't always a full deduction. It often needs to be depreciated, but when you use tools like Hurdler or Zoho Books, they'll flag that for you automatically. Now I always tell my clients, if your bookkeeping app isn't teaching you how to avoid audits, it's not smart enough for your business. Now one of the biggest mindset shifts I teach is that tax preparation shouldn't start in March. It should be a system that you build all year around. So you want to set a recurring calendar every month to review your AI categorized transactions. So upload any missing receipts and export a backup of your exports. Now Ray, one of my students, did this for the first time last year and got his taxes done 3 weeks early for the first time in 8 years. He literally cried on our coaching call when he realized just how much calmer and less stressed he actually felt. Now I would suggest using Notion, Airtable or ClickUp as a digital tax binder. So you can upload copies of key documents like your EIN, 1099s, profit loss reports and home office utility bills. Then just share that workspace with your CPA or your tax pro securely. This step alone saved Jasmine, a small agency owner that I worked with, hundreds in hourly CPA fees because her accountant didn't have to chase her for the paperwork. Now here's the deeper truth. When you get your bookkeeping and tax systems right with AI, you're not just saving money, you're buying back your brain space. You stop waking up in the middle of the night wondering if you're going to get hit with a massive tax bill. And that freedom, that's what lets you scale with more confidence. Let me now give you tip number 5, which is to use AI to turn your financial data into powerful business insights. Now you want to go from feeling lost in your numbers to confidently making smart, data-driven decisions that actually grow your business. I recommend using FAFM or SIFT analytics if you want to stop guessing and start understanding what your numbers are actually telling you. These AI tools turn your boring spreadsheets into beautiful dashboards that highlight what's really happening in your business. Now Carla, one of my students, who runs a creative agency, thought she was doing well, but SIFT showed her that her highest paying client was also her least profitable one because of hidden time costs. That insight changed everything for her. Now, if you're still looking at your income once a month and calling that financial management, then let me give you something better. You want to set up a weekly review using Live Flow to automatically pull live data from your accounting software into Google Sheets. This gives you a custom dashboard that you can check in just 60 seconds. Now Trevor, an Etsy seller that I've worked with, started doing this and he realised his best selling item was actually eating into his margins. So he adjusted the pricing and started earning more while selling less. That's the power of data. Now to help you dig a bit deeper into your cash flow, use Float or Pulse. These AI-based forecasting tools let you simulate what-if scenarios like hiring a contractor, launching a course, or raising your prices, and show you how the impact before you actually make the move. Now Nia, one of my students, used Float before deciding whether to invest in a branding overhaul, and it helped her realise that she could afford it only if she paused her ad for about 60 days. That clarity helped her grow smarter without any risk. Now a smart way for you to track real profitability is to connect Bench, QuickBooks or Zoho Books with a tool like DataBox. DataBox pulls your bookkeeping data and mixes it with marketing and sales performance. So you're not just tracking income, you're also tracking what is working. This is a game changer for creators and coaches. Now Rami, a course creator that I've worked with, linked his ConvertKit email funnel to DataBox and discovered that one low traffic lead magnet was generating 40% of his revenue. So he doubled down on it and he tripled his ROI. Now, if your struggle is that financial reports feel like a foreign language, then try Genie or BizView. These AI tools break down complex reports into plain English summaries and even suggest what to actually fix. It's like having a CFO in your pocket. Now one of my students, Lily, said using Genie was the first time she actually understood her own P&L. She went from blindly spending on tools to confidently investing in what moved the needle. That awareness gave her more control. Now I would suggest that you turn your numbers into decisions with something I call the financial feedback loop. Now once a month you can review your dashboard, highlight your top 3 profitable actions and then just double down on them the next month. Then just flag 3 drains and fix or remove them. AI tools like Clipfolio can make this process super visual and very actionable. Now you can see better results if you turn your reports into habits, but not just once a year. Now the thing you have to realise is this: you don't need to be a numbers person, you need a system that shows you what really matters. Now with the right AI tools in place, your financial data becomes your GPS and not just a historical record. And when you can see what's working in real time, you can stop spinning your wheels and start making moves that rip real momentum. Let's now move on to tip number 6, which is to use AI to automate invoicing, follow-ups and get paid faster. Now you want to go from chasing payments and awkward money conversations to running a business where your invoices are automated, professional and paid on time every time. Now, if you hate sending invoices or following up when clients are late, I highly recommend using Bonsai or Hello Bonsai. These platforms let you create branded invoices, automate reminders and even charge late fees without you ever having to chase anyone down. Now one of my students, Emily, a brand designer, told me that she used to wait 2 to 3 weeks for client payments and dreaded the awkward email follow-ups. And after setting up auto reminders with Bonsai, her average payment time dropped to just 3 days and her cash flow became stable for the first time in a long time. Now I would suggest that you connect your invoicing tool with Stripe, PayPal or Wise for easy global payments, and then just use Chaser or Melio to automatically follow up with follow up on overdue invoices. Now Chaser even uses friendly, human-like language, so your reminders don't feel robotic or even rude. Now Jake, one of my students who sells online coaching packages, set this up and he said it felt like hiring a virtual assistant, but one that only cost him $19 a month, and recovered over $600 in missing payments in his first month. Now a smart way for you to actually avoid late payments altogether is to actually automate deposits and milestones based on billing. Now platforms like Honeybook and Dubsado make it very easy to break invoices into payment plans and collect upfront deposits without needing a messy back and forth. Now Sasha, a marketing freelancer that I worked with, started using Dubsado to actually auto-schedule 3-part invoices for her clients. And she told me the biggest change wasn't just getting paid faster, it was that her clients actually respected her process much more. That's a subtle but very powerful shift. Now if you want to take this even further, I recommend using Plutio or Zoho Invoice, which not only send invoices but also track time, project tasks, and tie them directly to what you actually build. Now this is huge for service-based business owners, so you can also create automated thank you messages when someone actually pays, adding that human touch without any extra effort. Now one of my students, Renee, told me that clients started complimenting her professionalism, and it led to 2 more referrals just because of how seamless the billing experience actually was. Wow, that's it for this one. 6 practical tips that you can start using right away. Now, if you're serious about building your online business and creating a sustainable online income, take the next step now. Click the link below in the description or in the comments and go through to my website where you can find some free training resources to help you get started right away. These free step-by-step resources are designed to guide you through launching a successful online business and generating online income streams. So don't wait, take action today. Click the link below and start your journey right now. And please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. It really does energize and motivate me to create more content for you. Thank you very much indeed. And if you want to connect on social, you can find me on LinkedIn and Instagram. The links are in the description below. Thank you so much for watching and supporting the channel, and have a great day.